This is day 15, 16, 17. I'm not quite sure because after a while the days just seem to roll over one another and you lose kind of perception of time. Anyway, quite a bit has happened since I last uploaded a video. I did make a slideshow that basically expressed a lot of my anger towards the manufacturers of Paxil and the manner in which people get prescribed these drugs. I'll upload that at a later time. Anyways, what I want to talk about right now is something I mentioned in the previous video about finding support online if you don't have a good solid support system at home. I sought out to find support for Paxil withdrawals on Facebook. There's actually a Paxil withdrawal group for people who are gently weaning themselves off, which is great. And I will say that, you know, sometimes things may benefit you online and sometimes they won't. In this case, it didn't work for me. And the reason why is the last time I had posted there, apparently I had made people upset. I'm not quite sure why I made people upset. It wasn't clear. I had a couple of false accusations thrown at me, and it was just really negative energy, and I didn't want any of it. So you got to be kind of picky about who you share your life with, you know. Obviously, I'm putting this on YouTube, so I don't really feel I have much to be ashamed of. But if you're super sensitive, then, you know, you might want to watch what you say, because apparently these people are also extremely sensitive, and it could just not turn out well. Basically, I did share with them something that was really traumatic that happened a couple of nights ago, which I'll post about shortly. That may have been something they didn't appreciate. They weren't familiar with it. It happened because I cut it off cold turkey. Somebody told me that they didn't like my comments about cold turkey being safe, and I never said that. So that was one thing that confused me. And then I get, you know, a little bit of knowledge thrown my way about speculation that I'm actually trying to sell vitamins from the road back. I'm not. You know, I don't have any association with any sort of drug rehab program at all. I mentioned I do have a couple of businesses. One is a maintenance business. The other is import-export. So, I mean, and I have some authority in a school in Indonesia, but other than that, I don't have any other means of making income, and I definitely would feel it's unethical to join a group and post for profit. I wouldn't do that to anybody. So I do feel that I kind of got judged real harsh without much of a chance, and I can remember the things that I said. I had promoted, you know, taking fish oil to help with the zaps. I heard that the road back was, you know, a program that had a lot of supplements. You don't have to buy it from there. You could buy it from your grocery store. Grocery Outlet sells vitamins for $3 a bottle. You know, just get an idea of what you need to get to help you. I will say the vitamins have helped me significantly, and you know, I know I'm not out of the water yet. Today just happened to be a good day. You know, it followed some very hard days, which is why I wasn't posting. But I would say that when you're entering into a group of people that are having a hard time in their life, obviously, that things may be said that are hurtful, and they don't know you. They don't know what you're going through. They may not care what you're going through, and that's fine. just don't take it too personally. If you have to, find another group. Find another individual if you must. Find something where you're not going to get judged, because the last thing that you need right now is negative energy if you're withdrawing off of an antidepressant. You just don't want that kind of anxiety. And for me, I do get somewhat sensitive. It's not going to crush me or make me lose sleep, but, you know, to be falsely accused of something, it's going to nag at you, or it nagged at me. You know, I didn't say anything that they were saying I was saying, and I asked for quotes, which were not provided, because it wasn't true. I kind of just walked into, like, this wolf den, you know? And it's a place that you're supposed to get support because of a mutual thing. I also am suspecting, not for sure, but suspecting that because I had mentioned I do not want to reinstate that drug, and I did not want to go through the torture of weaning myself off for a year or whatever, that I guess I didn't fit in. I went cold turkey, and as I mentioned, if I had the knowledge that I have today, I wouldn't have done so. But I had done so to the point my central nervous system was already in shock. Going back onto the drug did not seem like a good idea. My instincts, my intuition, everything I feel inside told me not to do that. And I'm going to listen to my body. And that's basically it. I don't judge how people get off of this drug. If they want to wean off by taking minute drops, that's fine. If they want to cut pills, that's fine. If they do it cold turkey, that's fine. You know, if there's dangers, be aware of them. I believe the best way to recover is education, and sharing education with other people, I think, is really great. If you find out that, say, this vitamin will help you out with, you know, one of the withdrawal symptoms, why not share that? You know, why not give them a source to where they can read about it? It doesn't necessarily mean you have to make a sale. So I was just really surprised that my first attempt to reach out to other people going through what I'm going through didn't turn out too well at all. And I can't tell you why. I have no idea. Somebody said my comments were hurtful to others, and I'm like sitting there thinking, how? And the only thing I could come up with is I did say that Paxil, on a side-by-side comparison to heroin, seems worse. And I got that from, you know, FUCK Paxil.com, where it just gives you like this side-by-side, you know, look into the withdrawal symptoms of heroin and the withdrawal symptoms of Paxil. So basically, that was all I was saying. And the rest of the stuff, I actually really have no idea why they chose to say that I was hurtful. And on top of that, when I had first joined that group, I would almost say that it was like hypocrisy. I mean, you go in there and you need positive energy to recover from something, right? And for you to present your problem and then for someone to say, you know, this is one of the comments I've received, and it said, you know, you're on day 12, 13, you may feel fine now, but you won't soon. That made me, that was hard to digest, okay? And hearing people give me these time frames that are so long, you know, when you're dealing with brain zaps and a lot of physical, mental torture, and you're going to say things like that, it's going to hurt the person that you're saying it to. So the whole entire group thing seemed really, really, really hypocritical. And I still at this point do not know what it was that I had done to harm anyone. If someone had given me some sort of information about what I had done, I would have apologized. But to this day, I have no idea why. I left the group before it got any worse because I knew I wasn't going to get an explanation. If I asked more than 2-3 times what I did wrong and I don't get a valid answer back, I won't get one at all. So I left the group. Now, as far as finding support, there is hotlines out there as well. Maybe one-on-one would be be better. I still don't think that anyone should try and handle this alone without expressing themselves some way. If a group doesn't work out for you online, seek another group. For me, fortunately, what's been my savior in all this is the people that I love and the people who love me. And during a really horrible episode just 2 nights before, which I'll explain later, I had so much love around me. And it was the morning I had woken up from that I looked at myself in the mirror and I said, I am going to fight. I am going to fight. Through hell or high water, I'm going to work and I am going to fight. And I don't think that everyone has to do that. You take your time. You know, it's not something, not everybody's going to experience the same thing. Not everybody was put on the medication for the same reasons, so not everybody's going to be coming off of them in the same way. And in my opinion, I think when you're in a group where a lot of people have a lot of emotional distress and a lot of anxiety as it is, it might, you know, maybe it isn't such a good idea. You know, education is wonderful. The more educated you become with Paxil or with any other SSRI drug to kind of help yourself along, the better. Knowledge is power. And I've heard over and over and over again, quitting cold turkey is dangerous. Reinstate the drug. Now, I also heard that my central nervous system is in shock and that reinstating it at this point would be dangerous. So either way, it's a no-win situation. It's a no-win situation at all. And I just kind of have to deal with it, you know? What I will try and do, I know that there's a website called PaxilProgress.com. You could try that out. You can try the Facebook group out as well. You may not have the same experience as me, and it does seem to be targeted more towards people who are weaning off very gradually. I don't have any problems with anyone on there. In general, I mean, they're probably good people. They're just going through difficult things. I don't know if I came across as a saleswoman or not. I didn't mean to, but in all actuality, I think you just got to find what really works for you. And it could be an online website, an online forum. It could be something on Facebook. It could be something on some other social networking platform. Whatever you got to do. You know, I would encourage, you know, maybe finding something in the community. I know it's really hard to find things like that in the community. Most of the stuff in the community is more, you know, targeted towards, you know, narcotics or, you know, amphetamines. But, you know, it's still an addiction. So if you could, you know, find somebody out there to kind of talk to and relate to, then I think that's awesome. You know, but I mean, if you sense some negativity, get out right away, because you don't need it. You don't need it. I didn't need it. I seriously didn't need it that day. But in a way, I'm pretty glad that I did leave, and the reason why is because of how negative most of the outlook was. I mean, I don't want to imagine myself taking little droplets for 2 years and being a prisoner to this drug for another 2 years. I know that's going to seem pretty insulting to people who are doing that. That's just something, but hey, they obviously probably don't want to do that either, right? They are, but they didn't want to. It's the same thing, you know? It's not trying to be, I'm not trying to insult anybody. It's, people have their own ways of handling certain situations in life. And if you can, find the support that you need. Make it as as easy as you can on yourself. If it gets negative, get out. Find something else. Don't give up. Express yourself. Write, share, post, blog, anything you gotta do. I am definitely okay with anybody writing to me, because it doesn't matter to me what you're doing. You could be weaning, you could have cut it off cold turkey, you could be doing whatever it is that you want, or whatever it is that you're doing, and I promise that I will not make you feel bad about who you are and the choices that you've made. So that's just all I wanted to say. I was going to just share that little rant of how bizarre it was to, enter a group for support and having people that do not know me seem to judge extremely fast. And to come to such a conclusion that I'm trying to actually sell vitamins off of a website that I do not own and I do not obtain any commission from. So that's basically it. I don't know. I'll be following up with the incident that happened a couple of days ago and how I'm doing today. So, bye.